In today's dev blog, I will tell you about several key mechanics. Units have front, side, back and top armor, and their positioning matters a lot. Fences and other obstacles are offering a directional cover that depends on the angle of attack. So, to get the exact attack value, we take into account both the attack angle and the unit's position angle. If you'd like to know more, please follow the link to access the full dev blog article.
Hello everybody, hello. I am here, believe it or not. I can even prove it. Look, here I am. Ha! I kind of get in the way of the screenshots though, to be fair. So, this is a very cool new World War II game coming, or at least I hope it's going to be cool. I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet. Those of you who have been watching the channel for a while will know that I played a game called Strategic Minds on this channel. And this game is by the same guy that made Strategic Minds. But the reason why I'm particularly excited about this game is because it is going to be, in my opinion, the closest thing to Battletech for a while. And the reason why I say that is because those of you who understand Battletech, who have watched me play for a long time, will understand that Battletech is a game of positioning and angling more than anything else. And this also is looking to capture the positioning and angling thing, which is not often done in a World War II strategy game. In fact, I can't really, off the top of my head, think of any good examples that aren't real-time. Often real-time games have positioning and angling, but not turn-based ones. And so this is the thing about this game that has really sort of captured my attention. And you know, Strategic Mind was certainly a competent game. So I have no doubt that this will also be, at the very minimum, a competent game. And I'm very interested in this new feature. And Paulo, who is a member of my team in Slitherine, part of the marketing team, said that I can put this up 3 hours before the rest of the world sees it. Woohoo! So you guys who are watching this the moment it appeared on my channel, well, you're seeing these screenshots before anyone else in the world who isn't internal to Slitherine. So I hope you like having a look. I'm going to hide my face in a minute so we can look through these screenshots properly. Now, it's not the what we call the gratuity shots here that really interest me, but the mechanical ones. So, there, if you can see here, there is what is quite improved UI from Strategic Command. The bit that will catch your eye is the unit icons look similar to Strategic Command, but other than that, it's looking much nicer. And you'll see here that there's various hit chances of different kinds of attack that are going to go through. Now, what interested me about this screenshot is that this Firefly is attacking this Tiger from behind, and it still has a 36% chance to graze. Now, I mean, just my personal opinion, but in a game of positioning and angling, more often than not, you only get one chance to attack someone from a weak angle before they, you know, just rotate their unit around 180 to mitigate the circumstance that you've created. And so I would be very salty if my rear shot grazed on a 36% chance if I had managed to maneuver behind the enemy like this. But I mean, I haven't actually played the game, so it's hard to talk about mechanics yet, and the game is certainly not balanced yet. As you know, in games development, balance is usually the last thing that's done in any game. Everything else is done first usually, and then the balance is done later. because you're never really sure how you need to balance a game until all of its mechanics are down and solidified. So yeah, it's one of them. Balance is often an ongoing process after the game is released. So just my thoughts on the matter. We got a tiger wreckage there, but there's another screenshot. We've just seen the screenshot of the guys next to it. So tanks are supposed to have top armor. In this screenshot, you can actually see the current full mechanics of attack angles. And you can see here it even actually shows elevation angle, attack angle, and adjusted armor, where adjusted armor is going to be a calculation of angle of the two sides that you are perpendicular to. So in other words, if you've got 90 armor on your front and 60 on the side, and you hit the corner, then you're going to strike against 75 armor. So it's not quite the armor mechanics that you would expect from maybe like World of Tanks, where obviously if you present the corner and they hit the front, then it's going to be even worse than 90. And because of that angling, because of the concept that a shot that travels diagonally through plate is traveling more distance than a shot that travels perpendicular to the plate. So it is a simplified mechanic, but it's still way more of an in-depth system than most turn-based strategy games. So I'm looking forward, or I'm interested in seeing how it plays out in the actual game. And I have not played any internal builds. Okay, so I know I work for Slitherine, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and play any builds of this game. So I'm just speculating before anyone says that I'm dropping hints of anything. You can see here the same kind of thing, how the calculation is done, attack angle, adjusted armor. You'll see that in this instance the elevation angle is missing because they're on the same flat field. So really precise control of the angle of your tank is going to be essential to the game. And so I hope that it has Battletech style control, as in, you know, when you move to a position you then sweep the exact angle that you want. Because if angle's going to be so important, then you need near perfect control over it. Okay, so it's a base. The one thing to look at here is we've got units garrisoned inside this fortification. And I believe this mortar crew is garrisoned inside this tent. So it looks like you're going to be able to garrison things, which is also unusual for a turn-based strategy game. Trying to think of one that's done this. And it's totally slipped my mind now. I'm gonna bring up Steam to remind me, but there is a game that did do that was turn-based and did do garrisoning. It was a Slitherine game. Oh man, I'm remembering. Like, I know what it looks like. I just I'm getting old. It has been done before, but it's pretty rare. And it'll be interesting to see how that factors into the angling system. So can you get on the top floor of a building and shoot down? That would be very cool for infantry. And then I guess that infantry is going to really depend on you actually doing that to be effective. Like, I'm going to presume that, like in most games, infantry out in the open is going to suck. But it's not. We're not going to be in a position where, you know, there's like close combat tiles or whatever. That's going to be the thing that you use to make infantry effective, which is kind of black and white. In Panzer Corps 2, you're either in a close combat tile, and thus you're really good against tanks, or you're not in one and you're just going to get shreked. So this may not be so black and white, which is another, it's another good thing in my opinion, but we'll see how it all turns out. Okay, I think this is very similar to a previous screenshot. I just got given a great big whopping bag of screenshots, so I'm just going through them now with you guys. You can see all the usual suspects in the game, as in tanks, half-tracks, anti-tank guns. I'm sure that they'll have special features. I think the units are all going to have... I mean, at the moment, it looks like they've all got 5 HP. They might have 5 HP or they might have 10 HP. I don't know. It would be an interesting choice to have all the units have 5 HP. I don't know if there's enough granularity there, but I also understand a desire to move away from 10 stack units, which is literally what everybody does. And then they add overstrength and all that kind of stuff on top. But yeah, I do wonder about 5 HP's granularity there, because obviously being chipped for 1 damage is painful when you got 10 HP. When you got 5 HP, it's going to be outright frustrating. If you take damage, that improbable damage, let's call it, if the RNG delivers 1 damage to you that you probably shouldn't have taken. I mean, when you've only got 5 HP, that's a pretty severe amount of damage. 20% is a lot, a lot of your health. So it will be interesting to see how this pans out actually playing the game. Okay. Yeah, so here, look, you can see this move is being plotted out. But it's not obvious to me as to whether you can angle at the end of your move. Like in this case, it's obvious that you're going to be in the perfect position behind the enemy by just making this hard turn to the right here. But as I said before, if angling is going to be super important, then you probably, or I hope that you'll be able to, as in Battletech, just drag your mouse to the angle that you want at the end of your move. Because imagine if there wasn't just a tank there, but there was a tank. Let's say that there was a tank where this well is, right? So what I'd want to do is I'd want to face the tank that's at the well and shoot the tank whose rear I have access to, right? Because the whole idea there would be that I'll shoot this tank in the rear and destroy it, and then I'm pointing at the tank that's still alive on the next turn. This is the same with Battletech. It's like you think to yourself, how am I going to position to face the enemy that's going to be alive? Because I'm gonna kill this guy, so he's not going to be an issue anymore. So if my mechs have got their rears pointing at this guy, it's not going to matter because he's going to be dead. What I want to do is point my guys at the guy who's going to live, because I don't have the necessary firepower right now to take him out. And that's my thought here. Is it's going to be very important to pre-position your guys to face the threats that will survive your turn, as opposed to just pointing directly at the back of this guy. If there was a guy by the well and I'm pointing directly at this guy, he's now got a side shot on me instead of having a full frontal shot, which is going to be much worse based on the armor system that I've seen so far. We've got what looks like a Bren carrier at the back there, artillery. All the usual World War II suspects here. There's there's going to be a Normandy campaign. So that's pretty cool. Let me just... There's one screenshot that I saw before, and I'm looking for it in this group of screenshots here. Ah, this is the one. So if you look at the bottom corner here, you can see that the front of the tank has got 85 armor, the top has 25, the side has 45, and the rear has 45. So the difference between the front and the side is absolutely huge in this current balance. Obviously, all things subject to change, or it could, I mean, it might be based on historical values. I'm not, not 100% certain on that. The Sherman was notoriously weak-sided, so the control of your angle is going to be really critical if it's going to make that kind of difference. I would definitely want to, deliver that full 85, then get some kind of composition between 85 and 45. Just thoughts in my head. Now here we have a Stug that appears to be shooting through a building. So it'll be interesting to see how the terrain calculation accounts for buildings and stuff. It's hard to see in this screenshot what he's shooting at. It could be something quite far away. So that'll be another interesting question, is how much range are units going to have? Because obviously, typically in these kind of games, units can only attack something that is right next to them. But in this case, it's attacking some distant target. And here, look, you can see again, this infantry is got to be at least 3 tiles away from the tank, maybe 4. So it's going to be a game with unusually long range, as it were. Most turn-based games, you have ranges of 1 tile or 2 tiles. Maybe have artillery that shoots 3. At most 4 or 5 tiles, and usually 3, 4, and 5 tiles range is exclusive to artillery in World War II turn-based games. But here, the tank is shooting many tiles distance at a small target. So that's also going to be something to think about, which is, once again, why this pushes me towards thinking this has got some... It's going to have a lot of Battletech-like quality in the gameplay. And as we all know, that's a great game. Okay, this is just a screenshot just showing the assault on this fortified base. I wonder if the infantry will be able to get into the trenches as well. It's going to be interesting to see what precisely can be garrisoned and what can't be. We know that these bunkers can be garrisoned. Can the watchtowers be garrisoned? Can the dugouts be garrisoned? Will infantry be able to attack from the dugout? How strict is the line of sight system going to be? Because if it's very strict, then infantry would not be able to attack from those dugouts unless the tanks rolled right up to them. But if it's just a calculation, then they should be able to fight back from those positions if they can garrison them. It'll be interesting to see, but I hope that most of the terrain will be garrisonable, because that would be quite cool. Okay, just a bit of a tank standoff. You can see here, these tanks are angled, non-natively, let's say. So, non-natively being, not 90-degree angles in the square. But the Churchill is quite clearly pointing, like these two are quite clearly pointing at this, and this one is quite clearly pointing at this. I'm not seeing a bespoke angle, if you know what I mean. Just a tank pointing in a random direction, not pointing at anything. Although this truck does look like it's just pointing off in a bespoke angle. You know, I'm cautiously excited about this game. I just hope that the angling controls are really precise, really good. And I wouldn't blame the developer for just using a very similar system to Battletech and other games like Battletech. Real-time games like Starship Troopers, to give another example, or Company of Heroes, where you hold down the right mouse button and you point at the exact angle you want at the end of your move, and then your unit adjusts itself to have the exact angle that you've designated, which is really common in real-time games, but extremely rare in turn-based ones. It's a church! Okay, I think they're just showing off that it's going to have prettiness. This looks like an English town in that everything is, all the roads are tiny and obtuse, but then again, they are quite, they are quite straight, and that's not very British. Twisting roads of fail is the British way. Okay, and we're back at the beginning. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this look, exclusive look, as it were. The materials surrounding this will be released in 3 hours, so then you can go look at the dev diary. I can't look at the dev diary now because it's not live. I hope you enjoyed this quick look. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts. And yeah, hopefully this game delivers on the promise that it seems to have. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little preview look of Headquarters World War II. And maybe in the near future they'll let me actually play a build and show some of it. But that is it for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.